Hello everybody, and welcome to Nancy Drew Mobile Mystery Shadow Ranch. In this video, I am going to solve the challenges involved with Chapter 2. You see, in every single chapter, we get 7 collectibles, and we have a collectibles challenge. Okay, so we have to spell 4 words. Well, prick, as in prick your finger on a spinning wheel, which is what happened to Sleeping Beauty. Rocky, like Rocky Road ice cream. And Ricky, as in Ricky Ricardo. Oh, not a word. Oh, but Ricky! Pokey? Like the cactus is very pokey, so don't go poking it? And a 6-letter word. Pear. No. Okay, that's not a word. I'm not very good at this, challenge. Maybe tricky is a word, right? Yes! Alright! I didn't really think that was a word, but it counts. Tumbleweed! Okay, I'll do better with tumbleweed. Weed. Lead. Oh, that's not the 5-letter word. Blue. The wind blew, fiercely. And tumb. Not a word. Team. Yeah, the grass is teeming with beauty. And bleed. Alright, yeah, I did so much better with tumbleweed. Wow! Let's move on to tres leches cake. Tres leches. Oh, this could be tricky because it's, a foreign word, right? Tres leches, it's in Spanish, right? So, kind of hard to form English words out of Spanish words. Yeah, all I have is the letter E. Those are all the vowels that I have to work with, so this is tricky. Let me see. Heel. Rest. And then rests. Rest with an S at the end. Alright. The turquoise. Ooh, that one has a Q in it, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. Quaw. Yeah, I figured that wouldn't be one of the words. Rest. And then trace. Because we figured out that works on the previous word. Yeah. Rust. Quiet. Knew there had to be one word with the QU, right? Come on. Chocolate flour. Oh man, lots of letters to work with. Flow. Cool. Late. Later. Flowy, no. Let me see. Another 5-letter word. Floa? No. What about chate? No, that's not a word. Cheat, that's it. That's the word I'm thinking of. Yeah, chate is not a word. I just made that up. But sometimes I just try words I make up and it works. So, let's keep going. Scrub oak. Ooh, only 3 words, which means this has to be rather difficult. Oaks. Burrs? Yes! Oh, this is not that difficult. And scrub. Yeah, okay, never mind. Oh man, I was worried for a second there. And dahlias. Ooh, this has to be difficult, right? No, just three-letter words. Three-letter words. Come on, short, simple, three-letter words. I don't know what these things are. Da, ahi. Da, lia. La, li. Liz. Wow, lass? Yes! I don't know what any of these three-letter words are, except for ahi. That sounds like vaguely Hawaiian, some sort of Hawaiian drink, I'm thinking. Anyway, we just unlocked Sneezing Scout, another mini mystery. This one is kind of long, so I'll try to read quickly. Sneezing Scout. One sunny afternoon, the three friends decide to visit the wilderness area next to the ranch. As they ride past a big clump of bear grass, Nancy hears a brief, odd noise. She pulls her horse up and turns to the cousins. Did one of you just sneeze? They shake their heads. Then they hear another sneeze. They look towards the bear grass. Who's there? Nancy calls. Whoever you are, come out and show yourself. Moments later, a short, pudgy boy rises into view from amid the grass. He's about 12 years old, and he's wearing some kind of uniform. He wipes his hand across his nose and sniffles loudly. Darn allergies, he mutters. Who are you? Bess demands. Percy Norville, he replies, pushing his glasses up on his perspiration-slick nose. Frontier Scout, 2nd Class, Posse 742. Are you out here by yourself? Nancy asks, a little concerned. I'm looking for some cheating scouts, he replies. Can you help me? Sure, why not? Nancy replies. But you have to explain what's going on. Percy takes a deep breath. Every winter, all the scouts from Maine come down to Arizona for a frontier survival camp. We rely on our wits and what nature gives us. We can't use computers, gas stoves, not even a clock. Well, except for the one they use to time the survival hike. Survival hike? Bess asks. It's the highlight of the camp and a huge competition. Each posse hikes the same route, but at different times. Whichever team hikes it the fastest wins. Our posse has the best survivalists in the nation. There's Dave Wyszynski, who survived a week in Nova Scotia with just a coffee can, a shoehorn, and a pack of gum. Then there's Kyle Bridges, who kayaked from Detroit to Chicago in the dead of winter. And there's... Okay, George interrupts. We get the point. You guys are good. Percy sneezes again, and all three girls wish him Gesundheit. Gesundheit. German for health. The expression became popular in the United States as more German immigrants arrived there. After dramatically blowing his nose, very dramatic, okay. Is that how you blow your nose dramatically? I don't know how you do it very dramatically. But even though we have the best hikers, our posse always loses to Posse 11. We already hiked the trail and did it in record time, 5 hours. Now Posse 11 is making the hike and they have to pass by this point. If you stick it out with me, then you can be a neutral witness that they skipped it. Nancy looks at her friends and they each nod in agreement. They'll help out Percy. They tie their horses to a grove of willows out of sight and find hiding places, but after several hours, the rival scouts never show up. Can we go now? Bess complains. It'll be dark soon. Percy responds with a sneeze. Yes, but you have to go back to the camp with me to say you saw them. You didn't see them pass by this point. Percy leads the girls back to the scout camp just as the sun begins to set. As they approach, the scout sentry suddenly stops them on the trail. Halt! Who goes there? Percy snaps to attention. Frontier Scout Percy Norville, Posse 742. The sentry scowls at Nancy and her friends. Why did you bring civilians? Worse yet, girl civilians. Before Percy can respond, whoops and hollers sound from the camp. That must be Posse 11, back from the survival hike. The sentry cries out and takes off running. Percy motions for the girls to follow him to the center of the camp where the members of Posse 11 are congratulated for finishing the hike. We won! We won! They shout. The scoutmaster appears with a stopwatch to verify the time. His face is red and he wipes the back of his neck. I'm sorry to tell you, boys, but it looks like the timer's batteries ran out. We won't be able to tell you how long your hike was. Percy pipes up. I have reason to believe that Posse 11 cheated. They never passed the bear grass waypoint, and these girls are my witnesses. The camp erupts in a frenzy of shouts and arguments. We beat you fair and square. Maybe the girls got to the waypoint after we passed it. Liars! Cheaters! The Scoutmaster blows on a whistle. Boys, 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 have some respect for your fellow scouts and guests. He looks at Nancy and her friends. We'll get to the bottom of this. He has Percy tell a story and asks the girls to confirm that they never saw Posse 11 team go by. Were you there for the whole day? Nancy looks dejectedly at Percy. No, sir. The Posse 11 leader shouts, That waypoint was one of the first we found. It's just Percy's word against ours then. He's just a sore loser. The Scoutmaster blows his whistle again. No one's a winner or a loser, since we don't know how long it took Posse 11 to get across the finish line. All we know is that you left at noon. He asks the girls, Do any of you have a cell phone with a clock? The girls look at each other and shrug their shoulders. I thought you brought yours, Nancy asks Bess. Why bother? There's no reception out here, Bess says defensively. A small boy with glasses and freckles pipes up. I know how we can tell how long the hike took. He runs to his tent and emerges with a small booklet whose cover shows the rocky coast of Maine. I keep this tide chart in my backpack. It also lists the times for sunrise and sunset. He gives it to the Scoutmaster, who finds the day's date and time that sunrise took place. Well, according to the chart, today's sunset took place at 4:36 p.m. Since Posse 11 left at noon, that means their hike took 4 hours and 36 minutes, beating the previous record of 5 hours. We won! We won! The members of Posse 11 holler. We beat the record time by 24 minutes! Percy's rival team starts a victory dance as Percy and his teammates look on glumly. The Scoutmaster apologizes to the girls for the unruliness of the Scouts and offers to guide them back to Shadow Ranch. We'll manage, Nancy declines, but if I may, I can prove that Posse 11 did not win. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. How does Nancy know that Posse 11 lost? How does she know that they're a bunch of cheaters? Can you figure out the solution to this mystery? Now, personally, I think that the solution is going to involve time zones, right? Because we're in Arizona right now, and that's 2 or 3 whole time zones away from Maine, right? So let's reread the story with the clues highlighted. Yeah, because it's sunset in Maine, right? But, I mean, that's when sunset is in Maine. It's not when sunset is in Arizona. The tide chart. So, let's see. The camp goes quiet, as Nancy explains. As I understand, no technology is allowed in the camp except for the stopwatch, right? The Scouts all nod. And yet, when Posse 11 arrived back at the camp, they started shouting they'd won even before the time was announced. We just knew we won because we could feel it, a Posse 11 member retorts. Besides, the tide table proves it. Everyone saw and agrees that we left at noon, and everyone saw and agrees we got back exactly at sunset 4.5 hours later. Nancy asks to see the tide table booklet. If we were still in Maine, then yes, that would make sense. But we're in Arizona, much further south than Maine. And the further south you travel from the north, the longer the days are, at least in the winter. My guess is that sunset probably takes around 5:30ish, which would mean that Posse 11 took longer than 5 hours. Before the camp erupts into chaos again, the Scoutmaster blows his whistle a third time. I have to agree with this girl's reasoning, and as soon as we can, we'll find out the exact time of sunset and sort this issue out. Nancy and her companions set off to return to Shadow Ranch. Percy approaches her with a big grin and offers her a scout kerchief. Our posse voted unanimously to make you an honorary frontier scout of Posse 742. Nancy thanks Percy for his gift, and the girls set off back on the trail to Shadow Ranch. Alright, so that was The Mystery of the Sneezing Scout.